Good morning. Drop this down slightly. Happy Friday, Facebook Livers. Taco John's Veterans Day meal on November 11th. It's Taco John's. Travis is coming over here, just forewarning you.
Why do you always warn them?
Because it can be
Jarring to see my giant face right in front of here.
Right up in there.
Yeah, all up in their business.
And now everyone just left. No. Just kidding. Welcome into Local 4 today at 6. Coming up, we have your headlines, including Ian at the Alert Desk with more from his interview with the interim CEO at Mary Lanning Healthcare. Plus, we take a look at new light preparations for downtown Hastings and a traffic alert in Grand Island. But first, Travis has a sneak peek at the forecast for us from the Severe Weather Center. What are we looking at on this Friday, Travis?
Well, while most of our day is going to be sunny, just right now we've got a few passing little light rain showers out there. In fact, you can see it from our Grand Island camera looking towards Hastings. Between GI and Hastings, we've got a little rain falling. A lot of it is evaporating, maybe some of that making it to the surface. You can just see it there looking down South Locust. That little bit of, I guess you can call it a rain shaft, otherwise the clouds overhead as well. They'll quickly clear on out. It's not going to last long. So this rain's already southeast of the Grand Island area. Temperatures are below to mid-40s, very mild, breezy west and northwest winds out there, about 10 to 17 miles per hour, gust to 23 in Hastings. Looking at our day ahead, it will be a fairly sunny day today as the clouds clear out early. We're on our way to the mid-60s, breezy winds expected out of the northwest, maybe occasionally a gust up to near 25, possibly 30 miles per hour. Skies are clear in North Platte. It'll be a sun-filled day today, 31 to start things off this morning. A light west-northwest wind. You're on your way to the low and mid-60s this afternoon. Maybe a breeze up to around 20 miles per hour, so we're in the middle of the day. Enjoying plenty of sunshine, a few late day clouds coming in from the west. We'll have more details of that forecast coming up in just a little bit. Listen.
All right, thank you, Travis. Mary Lanning Healthcare appointing a new interim CEO in September who is now in Hastings and has hit the ground running. Ian is at the Alert Desk with the latest.
Alissa, on Thursday, I had a sit-down interview with Mary Lanning Healthcare's new interim CEO, David Zeckman. We covered a variety of topics during the meeting, from finances to his goals for the hospital. One of the main issues facing rural healthcare right now is their financial status and whether or not they have the ability to be profitable or just break even. And Mary Lanning Healthcare is not immune. Zeckman noted that hospitals are not just important for health, but also a large employer for their organizations, and creating a stable financial plan for the organization is his top priority. Zeckman added that he is impressed with the hospital and the employees who care deeply about their jobs, and he thinks that hospital has a good overall culture. As far as finding a new permanent CEO, Zeckman said that process will formally begin in June. Alissa?
Thanks, Ian. Governor Jim Pillen announcing that there are as many as 60 ICE detainees currently being housed at the facility in McCook, saying they started arriving Monday night. He says after speaking with McCook's mayor, he estimates about 200 inmates will be there before Thanksgiving. Funding for the second phase was just approved to add 100 additional beds. Homeland Security has said they will pay the state $2.5 million monthly under a 2-year contract. And the Hastings downtown area is getting new lighting on 2nd Street. The new LED lights are drilled into the top of the buildings, and they're able to change colors. Those color options can change with the seasons if people would like. The light strips are weather resistant and have a long lifespan. The additions of lighting have local businesses excited about this downtown addition. I don't know who she is. Oh, Gary Michaels?
There for as long as I can remember. In a suit.
Never been in there. The new lights will first shine during the celebration of lights in downtown Hastings on November 20th. Let's check in now with Travis in the Severe Weather Center with an update on our forecast. So far on this Friday morning, it seems okay out there, Travis.
I wonder if I can convince them to come do my house as well. And just
I don't know.
up there permanently as well. That sounds like a good plan, I think. But
Uh-huh.
anyway, as we take a look at things this morning here, it's a fairly mild morning for our area. A lot of 30s and 40s out there. Look at the temperatures to our southeast. Extremely mild. This is all actually had a cold front that came through our area yesterday afternoon and last night. But
Good morning.
it's not terribly cold out there. We got a very weak disturbance behind that front that's now passing through, bringing a couple
How's
of,
everyone doing?
extra clouds and even some sprinkles of very light.
The last few weeks, the comments section has seemed weird. Like, it doesn't update right away as it should. There we go. Now I'm seeing stuff. Good morning, Phil. Glad to be seeing ya. Good morning, Joy. She is. She still has a lingering cough, and she's still on antibiotics. Thanks for asking. My daughter had pneumonia, strep throat, and an ear infection all at the same time. When we got her in on Monday, that's what she was all dealing with. So she's doing a lot better, thankfully.
There's our disturbance to the northwest now making its way in, so late tonight, mainly around and after midnight, a chance of some rain in northern Nebraska, which will eventually...
So James, half of Lincoln sees Local 4, the other half sees WWT in Omaha. And technically our primary, I can't remember the initial, our primary coverage area is outside of Lincoln, but we are viewed in Lincoln. To cover all the Lincoln teams and sports would be too much.
Later today, about 60 degrees at 5 o'clock, mostly sunny skies. Winds pretty light. It'll be breezy today, but it'll be lightly up as we get towards 5 o'clock. Mostly cloudy, light winds at 10, 45 degrees. Then a little bit of partial clear, partly cloudy, 40, breezy northwest winds. Those winds are going to get stronger during the day on Saturday. Partly cloudy, 59 at 5 o'clock this afternoon before the sun sets. 10 o'clock tonight, more clouds around, 47 degrees. More clearing tomorrow morning in North Platte, mostly clear skies. 37 degrees northwest winds, 5 to 15. Those are going to crank up tomorrow. We can see gusts up to 50 miles per hour in North Platte through your day on Saturday. Melissa, we'll send that to you.
All right, thank you, Travis. Coming up, we have a look at what's ahead at state volleyball in Lincoln. Plus, we take a look at Governor Jim Pillen's issue on the executive order of reviewing abortion providers in the state. Stay with us. So when it comes to news anyway, we just don't have enough time in our newscast to cover things like Lincoln news so much. We focus on the Tri-Cities.
According to my radar, it should be raining here right now.
Oh, okay. So we are a Tri-Cities focused station. And our sister station is 1011, so they're in Lincoln. So we don't really, it wouldn't make sense for us to be in Lincoln when they're in Lincoln, if that makes sense. So yeah, depending on where you, like the western part of Lincoln evidently gets us, and then the eastern part of Lincoln gets WWT, so from what I'm told anyway. Does that answer your question? Yeah, we just don't have the time to add Lincoln news in our newscast. We are Local 4, covering Grand Island, Hastings, and Kearney primarily, because that is our local demographic of coverage primarily. So I know it is what it is, but you can tune it to 1011 also if you would like a little bit more in their news. You can flip it back and forth.
Your car is wet. It's
Oh wait,
raining out.
I'm over here
It's
first.
raining out, and the moon is out. It's weird.
Ooh, that's like when the sun's shining and it's raining, you know?
It's raining. It's actually a decent little rain. You can probably see it on my suit.
Yeah.
Dampness. Cars, Alyssa's car's right out front. It's all.
Yeah, I've been parking right out front in the.
Yeah, why did you park so close?
Well, I've just been. I moved my car, but it's because I don't like having to get around my car and then go out. So this way I'm like closer to the door. I have heavy stuff. So. And when I grab across my vehicle, I like knock over my coffee sometimes. So I don't know. Just trying to make my life a little bit more convenient for myself, Travis, since I don't have a chauffeur helping me in the morning. No, the local 4 chauffeur. With my hair and makeup team, why aren't they helping me out? Literally, I had no makeup on at the beginning of the show yesterday, none whatsoever, and some guy messaged, he was like, I love that you'll go natural, and then as the show progressed, I'm like, I'm not doing this on purpose, it's because I just didn't time things out properly. Like that. Like, get ready with me as the show goes on.
You learned way too much from Marilyn.
I did, because she would do that.
Same thing.
I know she did. Welcome into Local 4 today. Time now 6:43. Well, day 2 of state volleyball is in the books. So let's take a look at today's games ahead. In Class D1, this morning at 9 a.m., top-ranked Why Not plays 4th-seeded Dundee County Stratton, and at 11 a.m., SEM meets Cambridge in the 2-3 matchup. No upsets yet in D2. Looking at Class D1 bracket today at 9 a.m., top-seeded Amherst plays number 4 EMF. Number 2 Overton will take on number 6 Shelton after a big win yesterday. That one's at 11 a.m. Taking a look at the matchups in Class C1, Holdridge is taking on the 4th-seeded Omaha Concordia at 1 p.m. And then Milford will play the 6th-seeded Malcolm today. That one's happening at 3 p.m. Of course, also A and B games are happening as well, but we don't have any local teams in those brackets. Let's check in now with Travis in the Severe Weather Center with an update on that forecast. If people are heading out to Lincoln, it seems like they'll have a pretty nice drive ahead.
Yeah, no major issues at all. Maybe a little rain this morning in some spots. Very quick, brief rain anyway here. I'll talk about that here in just a bit. Let's look at our almanac data here. We're starting off with temperatures in the 30s to near 40. That's the lowest temperatures that we've seen so far this morning in the Tri-Cities. These are annual flat. These are all above average. Highs into the mid-60s today. That's about 10 degrees above average here for November 7th. So we're going to see a pretty nice end to our work week here for today. Now we're starting off a quick little passing disturbance, bringing some light rain. I just stepped outside. So here's Hastings right here, the TV station a couple of miles away now. I just stepped outside. It was actually a rain. It's just that it's enough to get the ground wet, the cars wet, things like that. But it's a very fine rain, very fine drop. It's not your big fat drops of rain. And it's just a very quick moving disturbance. So you're going to get some very light rain out of this. In fact, it's so weird because the clouds are already clearing out. I was seeing the bright moon while it was raining on me. It was the weirdest thing. But this is going to clear out quickly. We'll see plenty of sun today. We're sitting in the 40s, some of the warmest spots where we've got some of these extra clouds around. It's 49 in Albion right now. Colder in North Platte, 31, it's 34 degrees in Smith Center. So Tri-Cities area, I think we started off close to 40 this morning, maybe low 40s. Work our way up into the mid-60s this afternoon. Long range, we're taking the plunge this weekend here, whether you like it or not. It's going to get colder, especially on Sunday. A lot of wind tomorrow, cold on Sunday, a little bit better Monday, and then back to our regularly scheduled nice weather next week here on Tuesday. Small little weak disturbances bring just small cool downs, but not the big plunge here, so just small cool downs here and there, including next weekend. Looking at North Platte, it's pretty much the same thing. The big plunge here the next couple of days. We start to get better already on Monday, much better Tuesday. Little bit there Wednesday, Thursday, another climb on Friday.
And the hard sniffles this morning with Ian.
Shot some cooler air coming in towards this weekend. Melissa, Ian, we'll send it back to you.
All right, thank you, Travis. Governor Pillen signing an executive order to require the Department of Health and Human Service immediately review abortion providers in the state. According to the governor, the attorney general as well, that order would pull taxpayer dollars out of clinics that provide abortions or related services, with the two taking direct aim at Planned Parenthood. That order also has Nebraska piggybacking off of other states who have banned abortion procedures covered by Medicaid, meaning those bans will also be in immediate effect here. When asked if he was aware that Planned Parenthood in Lincoln does not provide abortions, he responded that the order looks to restrict any provider who could offer abortion-related services. Well, as the harvest season is wrapping up, Local 4 had the chance to speak with an area farmer as he looks back at the growing season. Brandon Honeycutt has spent the last 25 plus falls harvesting his crops in central Nebraska, and this year has brought a unique set of circumstances to his farming operations. First, it was dry and then historic amounts of moisture in June and July, and the price of corn stayed low, which Honeycutt says has far-reaching impacts on the economy, even past agriculture. How long is this sot? Really? Right?
That's like a big no-no.
Is this canopy? And that's the show, folks. For the full story, you can head to our Local 4 News app, which you can find on your smart TV. Coming up, state volleyball continues in Lincoln. We're going to show you those previews again. Stick with us. Even though we just talked about it. That saw was pretty long in that harvest story.
Yeah, normally do that, but I hope not.
Okay, Ian's got it.
Yeah, normally I wouldn't do that, but we were about 7 minutes late, so I thought.
Yeah. We'll be okay.
Might be a little tight at the end, but I think as long as we have at least a minute 30 by the time Travis tosses, we should be fine.
Yeah, it is raining.
Mm-hmm.
It's raining, you can see the sun coming up.
Think I'm a buyer or something?
No, but I'm just seeing it for myself on the roads in Hastings.
One other thing, just to kind of make sure that the intro is short, that way we can just go right to it.
Okay. Supposed to get to 70 for you guys, Joy? Nice. We've had some pretty nice weather here off and on. Although Sunday is supposed to be pretty chilly. Excuse me. And then tomorrow's going to be windy and cool as well. I think it'll really feel like fall tomorrow. Your classic Nebraska fall. Cool and windy and gloomy. Not a fan. How do people like fall like that? Ugh.
Can I have the remote, please?
You sure can.
Thank you.
Is that purple?
Yeah,
I like that.
thank you.
Is
I
the
like
jacket kind of a purple?
The jacket's blue.
Oh, okay.
Jacket's blue, tie's purple.
Oh, okay. Nice. I like that.
Thank you.
Here's Ian, everybody.
Why is this computer being weird today?
Do you have a SOT in this?
Yes.
Okay.
Back in late September, Mary Lanning Healthcare appointed a new interim CEO, David Zachman. On Thursday, I sat down with Zachman to talk about his priorities for his time in Hastings, and during the meeting, we covered a lot, from finances to his goals for the hospital. While rural hospitals are financially struggling, creating a stable budget isn't Zachman's only goal for the hospital. He said that Mary Lanning Healthcare is able to offer many services that other small hospitals may not be able to, and he wants to lean into that to help strengthen the community.
Oh, I got a cookie cake for Lorena, and I don't love it.
Sorry.
They said they would do like a news desk for me, and it was just says local forum.
Zachman also added that the psychology department is another thing that many rural hospitals struggle with, and he hopes to continue the success that Mary Lenning's department has shown in Hastings. As far as finding a permanent CEO, Zachman said that formal process will begin sometime in January. Alyssa?
All right, thank you, Ian. Let's check in here with Travis in the Severe Weather Center. You know, there's a little bit of rain out there in Hastings. You even checked it out yourself?
I went outside for a little bit and just kind of danced in the rain a little bit out there. It's very fine droplets, but coming down enough to get the ground wet, and it actually was, you know, it felt like a nice little rain actually. But at the same time, the skies were already starting to clear, and I could see the bright moon. It's barely a blip in the road here today. We're going to see plenty of sunshine. You can see it, the wet streak here, the wet ground in Hastings here. You can see some of the little shafts of rain. They're very light, they're very minor, but again, it's going to be a trace amount of rain, maybe a 100th of an inch, 200ths of an inch. It's barely going to be anything worth mentioning by the time we get into the daytime here. These clouds are going to be quickly moving on out of here. In fact, it's already clear in North Platte. You'll see plenty of sun today. Looking at clear skies in O'Neill, where it's going to be a sunny day as well. And finally, Lincoln, you can see some of the clouds to the west. That's going to move through very quickly this morning, so you'll have a slight chance of rain. Probably around anywhere between about 7:30 and 9 o'clock in there, a brief period of rain, and then it'll clear out and see plenty of sunshine for the day today. So as we look at things here for today, a nice Friday on the way. Not so good this weekend. It's going to get, more than anything, the wind is the big story of Saturday, more than the moisture. A very minimal chance of moisture late tonight, early tomorrow morning of light rain. Right? It shouldn't amount to a whole lot. Sprinkles, light rain. Most of your day is dry. We'll actually get some sunshine in return. Clouds will clear out, but then later in the day and into Saturday evening, another very small chance of sprinkles or light rain, maybe a couple of flakes mixed in. I wouldn't get concerned about it here. It's not looking to be a big issue at all for the Tri-Cities, mainly rain high. Winds and cool, that's the bigger story tomorrow. Much colder as the system clears out here by Sunday morning, and Sunday at South, even with sunshine. High of 38, and it's going to feel colder with some breezy winds. Look at that, Monday morning at 16 degrees. It's a little better Monday, much better Tuesday. It's still feeling pretty good. Wednesday and Thursday, maybe dry weather expected as we go through these next several days to come. North Platte, nice today, cooler, blustery. You're going to see some of the strongest winds tomorrow to the west here. You can see gusts up to 50 miles per hour. I did not include any moisture in your forecast. It looks like it'll stay to the northeast. Chilly to start off Sunday, a cool day on Sunday, breezy as well, so it's going to make you feel colder. 17 Monday morning, getting better on Monday, much better on Veterans Day Tuesday, and still looking good on Wednesday and Thursday with highs back in the 60s again. 30s and 40s, some of the thicker clouds right in here, that's where we have some of the warmer temperatures. A little colder towards North Platte and Alliance here, winds a little breezy. We're going to see some breezy winds today out of the west and the northwest. Again, there's that very weak disturbance, bringing some very minor moisture now, just as we go Hastings area, moving into York and Columbus here, and eventually into Lincoln within the next hour or so. We'll see that. Then that clears on out. We'll see plenty of sun for today. Here comes our cold front here to the northwest of Bristol. A couple of fronts that are going to come.
Do you have any
Cools and bad, increasing clouds.
I won't have a different
Later
setup.
tonight, a chance of some light rain. Focus the best chances here in the north and the east, and a little snow trying to mix in. Better chances of some accumulating snow north and east of the
Should have healthcare.
and then we'll get a little bit of
Finances or
tomorrow.
the last one where he talks about
Most of us get as much
strength of the
as
cardiology.
Nebraska down into the 30s and 40s.
Was the healthcare?
Tonight. Now,
Sorry.
getting you tomorrow again. Watch the winds to
Finances.
crank up out of the northwest as the day goes
That's
on. A second cold front here coming
seems
through the
He
afternoon.
wouldn't
Behind
say
that,
like he
increasing
kept saying
clouds
that
and
he
some
wants to
light rain.
stabilize their
Trying to
finances,
make
but he
the
says
snow
sort of
towards the
things
end
is
of the
not
day.
stabilizes.
Very
Well,
minor
stabilize is the
moisture
wrong
here
word.
in eastern Nebraska.
And
Some
then the
evening,
next side, he says stabilize again.
that colder air heading towards Sunday morning. It's highs
That's
tomorrow,
how I figured.
40s in the north, the rest of us in the 50s. And then it's going to be cold here, but not so much in Pasadena.
Yeah,
It's a
exactly.
whole lot better here. Saturday night, about 6 p.m. Pacific time, that's 8 p.m. our time. Look at that, 70s and no wind, clear skies. Beautiful weather there at the Rose Bowl, there in Pasadena. For us, not so much. It's going to be down into the teens and 20s as
We
we
might
start
have
off
to
your
flip
Sunday
that
morning.
traffic
Those highs will
and
be
let's just wait and see
across
what's
the
short.
area. We'll show you that real quick here before we wrap things up. Ian and Alyssa, send it back over to you.
All right, thank you, Travis. Time now, 6:56. Here's what you need to know as you head out the door. Day 2 of state volleyball in the books, so here's a look at today ahead. There are no A and B local teams, so we'll get into Class D1 bracket this morning at 9 a.m. Top-ranked Why Not playing 4th-seeded Dundee County Stratton. At 11 a.m., SEM meets Cambridge in the 2-3 matchup. No upsets yet in D2.
And looking at the Class D1 bracket today at 9 a.m., top seed Amherst plays number 4 EMF, and number 2 Overton takes on number 6 Shelton after a big win yesterday. That's also at 11 a.m.
And a look at the matchups in C1. Holdridge will take on 4-seeded Omaha Concordia at 1 p.m. And then Milford will play 6-seed Malcolm at 3. All right, well, Travis, looks like it's going to be pretty nice weather heading out to Lincoln if people are going there.
Yeah, today looking pretty good. A little light rain maybe right away. This morning's going to move out soon here, and we'll see plenty of sun for today here. Warming up into the 60s here in the Tri-Cities, a little bit of a breezy wind. North Platte, you'll see plenty of sun, a few late day clouds. Also going to be a little on the breezy side, mainly sunny until those clouds move in. But again, things going downhill as we head into the weekend. A lot of wind tomorrow. Those to the northeast see some rain and maybe a little snow in far northeast Nebraska.
Ugh. All right, thanks for watching here. We're back again for midday at 11:30.
Have a great one.
All right, thank you, everyone.
So I know that Alyssa probably already explained it here, James's question here.
Yeah.
Just to kind of clarify that a little more, kind of what the way things are. So going back to 2014, when we were first purchased by Gray Television, well, it was the first time you'd ever seen this in the country. And back then, the FCC didn't allow a company to own 2 different television stations in the same market because our market is called the Kearney, Hastings, Lincoln market because there's TV stations in all 3 of those communities if you count NTV, which is close enough to Kearney. Anyway, so when that happened, they had to do some workarounds or whatever. So for about 2 or 3 years, we rebranded as NBC Nebraska, and we were no longer KHS because we had to get rid of the KHS call letters. And so when that happened, we did start to have a lot more like Lincoln stories and things like that because a lot more television stations in Lincoln started to get us. They used to get WWT, and we were only on satellite in Lincoln, but then that changed in cable and things like that once we were purchased. So we did that. Well, that upset a lot of viewers in the Tri-Cities area because we had always been known as a Central Nebraska Tri-Cities television station back in the old days. And so a lot of people were upset. They were calling us 1011 West and all that stuff. So what happened then a few years later in 2017, they rebranded us as Local 4. They wanted to make our channel a more Tri-City centric channel. Most of our focus on Lincoln, if we did do any Lincoln stories, would be on Husker Sports, Capital News, or any like major news out of Lincoln. But mostly and that still kind of remains the case at this point here. So basically what they decided that they wanted to do is they wanted to have 1011 do most of the focus on Lincoln and not as much focus on the Tri-Cities area. And then the other way around with Local 4, we'd be mostly a Tri-City centric station and not do as much Lincoln news. So if you wanted your news and your sports for Lincoln, you turned it to 1011, and vice versa for if you wanted Tri-Cities information, you watch us, and we would try not to mix the two unless it was again major stories or Husker athletics, because everybody across Nebraska wants Husker sports news. Because the Husker sports that crosses through the entire state. Even in the Shadron area, they have Husker, people are huge Husker fans out there, so that's everywhere. So that's kind of why we do that. That's why we don't do as much Lincoln news. We figure if you want Lincoln news, you go to 1011, you watch them. But weather side of things, while I do still focus a lot on the Tri-Cities and now North Platte, now that we have KNOP viewers now watching us as well, I still do, I'll focus on, for instance, if it's quiet everywhere and it's raining in Lincoln, I'll still put a focus on Lincoln, but my main forecasts are for the Tri-Cities and for North Platte. So that's kind of, I guess, the way to explain that. So if you were wondering about that, James. So with that, got Ian. Say goodbye, Ian.
Bye.
Andrew and Alyssa over here. Say goodbye. I'll let
Bye.
Alyssa
It's my phone,
sign
so
off,
I better. Bye, guys. Have a good one. We'll see you next Friday.